Hello there, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a good day today. Today I have a Temu haul, and this is a little bit bigger Temu haul, and I mostly was trying out some 12 by 12 papers from Temu, some scrapbook papers they call it. I wanted to see what they were like. I don't have very many big ones, and I have some swap projects with it. Might take some 12 by 12 pieces, so I thought I would try it out. But before that, I'm doing this bigger Temu haul because they're getting ready to do the tariffs, and I probably won't be ordering as much or maybe at all. So I have this order, which was one of my largest orders ever, and then I have one more small order. I just couldn't stand it. Well, I got a $5 credit because they were late on this one, so I had to go spend some more. And so I got a few more things. Trying to think about what would I use that I won't be able to get anymore, which is hard to do. So we'll talk about the paper in a minute. I got some die cuts, and I cut them out too this time. So one of the first things I got was a couple of these little pouches, and these are very inexpensive, and they're for makeup, but I'm using them for ephemera pieces and stuff. Here, I got one here. I put, you know, those things you get like in Maggie Homes, and you get the die cut pack, and I put them in there, and then I can see everything, and they're nice and sturdy, and then I line them up on my desk between two things like this. And I thought I would get the small one for the tiniest pieces, because a lot of those die cut packages have these really little tiny pieces that you can't, and then when you're trying to look through here and trying to get a tiny one, so I thought I'd go by small, medium, and large and put them in these pouches so it would be a little bit easier. So I got a couple of these, and they were like, I think that the biggest one is $1.08, or maybe it was $1.28. So they're not very expensive. So I got a couple of those, and then I've been seeing a journal that a lady made, and it was a ring bound journal with a laminated front and a retro front, very cute. And she used little rings, 2 little rings, to do it. And so I was looking for some. Hers were thicker, but I saw these and I thought, well, I'll try it. You can hook these, and I thought I'd try these for some little ring bound journals, maybe some retro ones. So I got a couple of those. And then when I'm doing swaps and sending things out in Happy Mail and things like that, I always like to put a sticker on the package or somewhere. And I don't really love all the sayings. So I was just looking maybe some flowers. So I just got a package of sticker flowers just to stick on packages and things like that. Something pretty to put on there on the outside of the package, so you know it's like a crafting thing coming. And then on my dies, I have been trying to find forever a rosette die. So this came with this one, just a second here, and this one came with this one and this one, and then these 2 small ones here. 3 small ones here. Just a second. Came with these 3 small ones. Now this one is a tassel die, and it cut out like this. And I guess you just roll this up, or maybe you just cut a couple of them and make a couple of them, but it can make a tassel. So that cut out nice. But I was more interested in this rosette, because the last one I got off Temu didn't do the impression of where you're supposed to fold worth a darn. So it wouldn't fold evenly. You couldn't see the little fold marks. So I've been looking for another one, and this one is way better. I can see the fold marks, so I like that. But it's very interesting because it has a design on both sides. Now, if I go back and look at the listing, I might see that one rosette looks like that and one rosette looks like that, because I think what they intend for you to do is just take your paper and either position it so you just get one side, or go ahead and cut out both sides and then just cut it down the middle, which is what I did. And I made kind of lopsided. This is just my first attempt. I made a couple rosettes with it. So I will get better at them. These are kind of, like I say, lopsided. This is my first attempt. And I was trying to decide if I should use regular, you know, kind of like copy paper, or cardstock. And this is cardstock. So I kind of like the idea of doing 2 different colors on there though. Makes it a little interesting. So this gets you, that's the one side, and then this is the other side. The hearts is, I think this is, they're little, I don't know, they're not really hearts. They're like little, I don't know, leaves or something. So, but if you try to roll it up like this, it's too big. It won't do it. You can't, so you have to cut it somehow once you get a piece of paper out. So I did that one, and then they had a couple just dies to put behind things that were not very expensive. There's this one, circles, and it cuts out like this. And then I did a pattern one like this, kind of fun to put behind things if you're making a layered stuff. So I like that one. And then I've always been looking for some swirly ones to put behind things, and I found this one. Now it's a little thin though. The swirls, they are kind of thin, but I still think it'll work. And if you use a little heavier paper, like I use this mirror cardstock, cardstock, it's a little bit better. I don't think it'll tear. And then I also thought, well, I didn't really want that part, but it's real easy just to cut it off, so I just have the middle part. So I got that. So that is my stuff before we get to the paper. I got a couple little 6x6 pads, and very inexpensive, like under $2, and the weight is good. Pretty patterns. I think I was going mostly for, you know, spring, summer, things like that. That one. And like I said, it was either $2 or under $2. So this was Pastel Love, it's called. This one is a little bit lighter, but still good weight. What's the easiest way to do this? With my fumbling fingers. I thought the hearts were cute. And now for the big ones. Now, these paper packs, they come in, you'll see them. When I first started doing Temu, you couldn't find any 12 by 12. Now I'm seeing some things that are offered. And I will say that I love the patterns. The patterns are really great. And if you get 12 sheets, it's around $4.60 to $4.90. If you get 24 sheets, this one pack I got 24 because I really like the, oh, it was this one. I really like the pattern. And so it would be doubled, and it was $7.49, I think. But the paper is really thin. This is not scrapbook paper. So that's disappointing, because that would not hold up to be a box or anything else like that, which is what I was thinking. I wanted to make something that I could swap things in. But a lot of times we back things, if you took two of them, because one is on the inside and one is on the outside, and you put them together, glued them together, that would at least be a little bit better. But I'd say at best, this is maybe just a little bit heavier than copy paper, than what we use to make our journal pages. So now I use some HP paper, and I go from 24 up to 32, and this might be like a 32. So, but aren't the patterns pretty? I mean, I really love the patterns. Look at this. This is so pretty. So you could do I can still do a lot of things with this. I was just a little disappointed. I knew it was going to be lighter than what we get, like when we go to Simple Stories or something like that. So this will repeat, and then I got two of them for $7.50. And then, see how pretty they are? And then these were, like I said, one was $4.60 and one was $4.90. I don't remember which one was what. You'll see it when you go, if you go look. But I love the patterns. I could really use these colors. I love how this isn't a bright pink. It's more of a dusty pink. All these are like dusty pink, but like I said, paper is just not very heavy. I got that one. And then the last one is this. Now this one was a little bit different because I think I expected the dots to be a little bit closer together. See, and like the cherries, that's a little disappointing. They're probably not going to use that. But that's a little interesting. So the patterns are kind of big for 12 by 12. They'd probably look better 6 by 6. So a lot of those I'm probably not going to, I don't know, you never know. I might use them. All right, so that is my haul for today. If you're ever interested in 12 by 12 papers, there's a little preview for you. And I really hope that you're having a great day, and thank you so much for stopping by. And I really hope your crafting is going good and you're feeling all creative, and you guys take care.